In Project 2, we're going to take a look at exporting data in Excel. And we're going to take information from a couple of different worksheets and integrate those with an Access database, a Word report, and a PowerPoint presentation. And then finally, we'll also save a worksheet as a comma-separated text file for use in a program other than the Microsoft Office suite. So we're going to begin by pulling up a workbook called Cut Rate Inventory. And I'm beginning on page 268 in Project 2A. And you'll notice again we've got several different sheet tabs within this workbook. We're going to take a variety of these sheets and again integrate them with other applications within the Office suite. The first one that we're going to do is we're going to take the information from the inventory suite and we're going to put it and append it to a table in Access. And so the first step is that we're going to select the information that we want to append. And the information is going to include A5 through G33. And if you'll notice, this is set up similar to a database or data list where we've got field names at the top, column names refer to field names. And so we're making the assumption that in Access, the same field names are used in that Access table. And we'll check that when we get over there just to make sure. But all we're wanting to do is put in the records into an existing table in Access. So once you've selected the data, and put that in copy mode, however you choose to do that, and then we're going to open up Access. Once we're in Access, we are going to open up a file in our student data folder. And the name of that database is Cut Rate Inventory. So I'm going to double click to open that. You notice that we are in Excel now. Let me resize that just a minute. And there's a security warning. We do need to enable the content. And you'll notice there are two tables within this database. We want to append our data to the car inventory table. So I'm going to go ahead and double click to open that table. And you'll see the field names across the top there are the same as the ones that we had in Excel. Alright, now to take the information from Excel, we're simply going to go to the Paste button at the bottom portion of the Paste button, choose Paste Append, and it says you're about to paste 29 records. Are we sure? Yes. And then there are the records. Okay, and then they're added to the existing records and they take on the same field statistics as the previous records in this table do. And then from here you can do a variety of things. They mention on page 269 that you could print the data sheet in landscape view. You can change the margins, all that good stuff. I'll let you do that on your own. But the goal here is just to show you that you can get information from Excel into Access. In Project 2B, we're going to take a look at gathering information from Excel and putting it into a Word document, both by embedding it and by linking it. And when you embed information from Excel into a Word document, that means that once it gets into the Word document, the user, if they have Excel on their computer, they can double click on the object or the information that you have copied to Word from Excel. You can double click on that and then you can use Excel features to make changes to the data. That's if you embed it. If you link it, if you link data from Excel to Word, then any changes that are made in the Excel file will automatically be updated in Word, and it keeps a constant link and connection between those two files. So we're going to look at both ways. And again, let's close out of this Access file. That takes us back to the Excel workbook. We're still in the copy mode, so I'm going to press Escape to that. And then the information that we're going to be taking into the Word file is from the car cost worksheet. And actually the content that we want to place in that report in Word is going to be A4 through F9. And again, we're going to embed it. We're making the assumption that once we get into this Word report, that the person that has the Word report has Excel on their computer, and they may want to make some changes. They may want to add additional numbers. They may want to, I don't know, add another row for averages. I don't know what they're going to do, but they want to change it and they want to use Excel features to do that. By doing that, they can make all the changes they want in Word using Excel while over in the cut rate inventory workbook, that is kept separate. So anything that the user, the owner of this workbook, wants to make a change to, they can certainly do that, but it does not affect the information in the Word document. And again, that's when you embed something. A little bit later we'll look at linking. Alright, so we've selected that. We want to put it in copy mode. We're going to open Word, and while in Word we're going to open up a file from our Chapter 8 folder. And the file that we want to open is Cut Rate Car Report. So we have a report where there's text, and obviously you would want to write your text and your paragraphs in Word, but we want to pull in some data from Excel. So I'm going to position my insertion point where I want my data to appear, and then I'm going to go up to the bottom portion of the Paste button, and I'm going to choose Paste Special. That'll bring up the Paste Special dialog box. And this first time through we do want to just paste, but we want to paste it as an object. Okay, that's how you embed it. And I click OK. That comes in as an object. May need to resize it, although you don't have to, but you could resize it if you want. Once we get it embedded, we are going to save this, and we'll save it back to my folder, and we'll call it Excel Level 2, Chapter 8, Project 2. Anything else different here? No. Okay. Alright, so now we have it saved under a new name. Now, if the user of this Word document wants to make a change to it, let's double click inside here, and let's say they want to, I don't know, add for Chrysler for 2009. They want to put in, no, let's do 12. For Chrysler 2012, they want to put in 50,000. Watch the 142 changes. Now I'm going to minimize this for just a second. Back in my original, nothing has changed over here. My original is kept intact, but it's in Word that I can make changes all I want, but I can use Excel features to do that. So that's the advantage of embedding. Okay? Alright, I'm going to close out. Now I clicked outside of that area. That gets me back into a normal Word document. If I double click inside that, you'll see now that I can use the Excel features. Okay, clicking outside gets me back into Word mode. Alright, I'm going to close out of Word. No, I'll just close out of this file because we'll want to come in. Yes, we're actually going to open that Word report again, the original one, back in our student data files. This time we're going to link the data from Excel into Word. So I'm going to get that open. I'm going to go back to Excel. We're going to take that same information. I'm going to select A4 through F9, put that in copy mode, go back to Word. Again, this time we're going to go to the Paste drop-down portion of that, choose Paste Special again, just like we did before when we were wanting to embed. This time though, on the left-hand side, we're going to choose Paste Link. Still an object. We want it to come in looking like an object anyway. I think you'll find that the formatting of an object is a little bit better than if you bring it in as text. Alright, click OK. Still get an object type situation here. But now when you link it, let's save this Word document. And I'm just going to put linked at the end here. Okay, so this has been linked. I'm going to close out of it. Okay, it's closed out of Word. I'm going to go back to Excel. Now, in Excel, let's say that, again, those two files are linked. So let's say for Honda 2009, we put in 85,000. Notice it changes it here. Now, since we've linked it to that report, when we open the report, the linked report, notice it says the document contains links that may refer to other files. Do you want to update this with the data from the linked files? Yes. When you do that, notice the 85,000 comes in and it keeps it connected to that linked source. Okay? Now, if I double click inside of this, notice where it's taken me. It's taken me back to my original Excel file because they're linked. So any changes that are made here will have to be made in that source file. Okay? Alright. I'm going to go ahead and maximize that out there a little bit. Back to the Word document for just a second. Let's say that we want to break this link. We no longer want to be connected to the workbook. If you want to break a link within a Word document, you simply right-click in the area that's linked, and you'll go to Linked Worksheet Object, and then Edit Link. Well, let's just go to Links. That'll give us a little more options, and then it'll show all the linked options that you have. We only have one. Back to the source file, cut rate inventory, and then you just choose break link, and we'll say yes to that. And now any changes made, like if I double click, it stays in here in Word. It doesn't go back to my Excel file. Okay? Alright, we'll close out of this. Don't need to save it. That takes us back to our Excel file again. And in Project 2E, we're going to take information again out of Excel. This time, though, we're going to put it in a PowerPoint presentation. And we're going to use the car cost chart for one slide, the first slide. But again, you select whatever information it is that you want to place in PowerPoint. And we're going to put that in copy mode. It's going to click on the copy button here. That puts it in copy mode, or it sends it to the clipboard. The other thing you could have done is right-clicked and choose copy. Doesn't matter which one. Then we need to open up PowerPoint. And again, we're going to open up a presentation that's already been created for us. Out in our student data folder. And the name of the presentation is Cut Rate Car Report, but it's a PowerPoint presentation. Alright, then you'll notice the slides that are in our presentation. On slide 3 is the slide that we want to paste the chart. So to paste it, you just make sure that you're on slide 3. Again, the bottom portion of the paste button. And we're going to go, actually you can just click on the paste button. We don't have to click on the bottom portion of it at all. It'll copy that in. Now you will need to resize. You'll use your sizing handles to resize that so that it's positioned below the title on that slide. And there's your chart. So you simply just copied and pasted. So you can do that with the chart. You can also do it with regular ranges of cells. And they're going to ask us to go back to the car costs sheet. And we're going to take a range of cells for that one as well. And this time they're going to take all of it. They're going to take the entire area, A1 through F9. Again, I'm going to put that in copy mode. Go back to PowerPoint. Slide 4. Again, once slide 4 has been chosen there, we're going to paste that. This time they do want us to go to the Paste Special option, and we're going to embed it as an object. If you don't, again, the formatting for these tables kind of don't appear as well unless you use an object. But again, once it gets to the slide, you may have to resize that so that it fits the entire slide, or however you want to position that on your slide. Okay, and hopefully you can read that appropriately. And then at the bottom of page 275, steps 5, 6, they have you printing various slide options there. So I'll let you do that on your own. And that's pretty much getting it into PowerPoint. So again, I'm going to close out of PowerPoint. We're not going to save the changes. That'll take us back to the Excel workbook. And again, I'm going to press Escape to remove the floating marquee there. And then the last exporting portion of Project 2 is we're going to take the inventory worksheet, and we're going to save that as a text file so that, again, it can be used by other applications that are not in the Microsoft Office suite. And they talk about some different types of text file formats on page 276. So you can read through those. The one that we'll actually be saving it as is the CSV, the comma delimited file format. So, but in any event, to save it as a text file, you simply just make the worksheet that you're wanting to save active. And then we're going to go to the File tab. we'll choose Save and Send. And notice we want to, the file types, we want to change file type. And then it gives you all the different file types. The other file types that we're going to choose, comma SV, comma delimited. Okay, and then we'll choose Save As. And we want to save it into the appropriate folder. And let's see, they'll still want it to be Excel Level 2, Chapter 8, Project 2. Notice it has a CSV, I want to say CBS, pharmacy, CSV file type. You could also select that from your drop-down list. Does the same thing. Okay, they just took you a different route. The Save and Send option is another way or another method to be able to save it as a CSV type. And you just click on Save. It'll say that it may lose some of the features within the workbook, which we know that. You can click OK. Yes, we know that that's going to happen too. Any incompatible features will be removed, but your main thrust there is to get the content, the actual text being saved. And then they have you opening up Notepad, which I'm not going to go through those steps, but if you'll look on page 278, in the middle of page 278, you'll notice if you open up Notepad, you'll see what the data looks like. And again, it could be Notepad, any kind of word processing text application. You can pull that data into it and then manipulate it however you need.